The phrase work-life balance sounds so simple, right? But for so many women around the world, it's anything but. Today, we're gonna talk about what work-life balance really means. We'll take a look at the global picture as well as some promising solutions that are working. We're gonna get into some cultural differences, the mental load, invisible labor, and what women actually want, so let's talk about it. Let's look at the global reality. Despite progress in many parts of the world, women still do the majority of unpaid labor. According to the most recent data available, women complete almost 3 times as much unpaid care and domestic work as men. And this was true in both richer and poorer countries, and this was before the pandemic. Imagine then how much more pressure women face during COVID-19 when schools were shut and caregiving responsibilities increased even more. And now we're seeing a rise in burnout among working women, especially those with children. In workplaces around the globe, women are 1.5 times more likely than men to experience burnout. So the bottom line is this: having it all, the perfect work-life balance, it's a myth. And we need to stop pretending that it's possible. Because when we set ourselves up for failure, it leads to exhaustion, resentment, and burnout. Number 2, cultural differences. Now let's take a look at some cultural differences. In some places, there's a better balance between work and life. For example, in Scandinavia, which includes countries like Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, there's a strong tradition of parental leave, affordable childcare, and gender equity policies. These policies help parents, both mothers and fathers, to share caregiving responsibilities more equally. As a result, there's a higher rate of fathers taking parental leave in these countries compared to most places in the world. In the USA, the situation is very different. You have a culture of hustle. There's limited access to affordable child care and only 12 weeks of leave for new parents, which is one of the lowest amounts in the industrialized world. This creates a lot of pressure on women to make big career sacrifices. And the result is high rates of burnout and a gender pay gap. Now, in other countries like Japan and Korea, the problem is long hours. Working women often put in 12 or more hours a day, and there's a heavy emphasis on face time in the office. There's also a traditional division of labor where women are expected to take on most of the caregiving responsibilities. In Africa and Latin America, the situation can be even more challenging due to a combination of factors like poverty, lack of access to healthcare and education, and also a high percentage of women working in the informal economies. However, in these regions, there's also a strong sense of community and women often rely on their networks for support. 3, the mental load. So regardless of where you live in the world, there's an additional burden that's often overlooked. It's the mental load. Women everywhere are often in charge of planning everything from school activities to birthday parties to household repairs. Everything has to be thought of and organized by someone, and it usually falls on women. And if they say yes to everything, which many do, it adds up quickly. Emotional labor is also part of this invisible load. This is the work of managing other people's emotions. Think of it as the effort required to keep track of everyone else's needs and feelings and try to make sure everyone is happy. This can be draining and it takes a toll on your mental health. 4. So what's working despite the challenges? There are some encouraging signs. An increasing number of companies are offering perks like remote work, flexible hours, and on-site child care. Some are even offering mental health support and training for managers to help them better support their staff. Shared parenting is becoming more common in some places. This is when both parents take an equal amount of time off to care for a child after the birth. And this helps to break down gender stereotypes and allows both parents to bond with the child. Women are also leading the way by starting their own organizations that offer mentoring, networking, and safe spaces for other women to share their experiences. 5. What women actually want. So based on everything we've talked about, what do women actually want? Well, the answer might surprise you. A lot of women don't just want more time off. They want respect, autonomy, and systemic change. They want to be valued for their contributions to society and have their needs as working parents taken seriously. There are many inspiring stories of women who are finding ways to make it work, who are balancing work and life on their own terms. And their stories can give us hope and practical ideas. So in conclusion, work-life balance for women is a global issue. It's a daily struggle that affects women all over the world. While there's no one-size-fits-all solution, we know that shared responsibility, cultural shifts, and systemic changes can make a big difference. So let's challenge the status quo. Let's ask companies to do more, hold our leaders accountable, and support each other along the way, because here's the bottom line. Work-life balance isn't a luxury, it's a right. And it's a right that every woman deserves. Thank you for watching this video. What's your biggest struggle or solution? Share in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Your support means a lot. Thanks again. See you next time.